Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I look a little crazy, but that's just because I'm doing a review on the Juno Microfibre Sponge versus the Beauty Blender. So I saw this in Mecca. I think it was only $10. I thought it would be really interesting to see how this sponge compares to a Beauty Blender. I also want to try like the Beauty Blender versus like the Morphe sponge because I use the Morphe sponge a lot. Let me know down below if you want to see that or you think it's boring. Also, as I feel like I mentioned a lot lately, I'm on Accutane, and if you can see, my lips are like really dry. The corner of my mouth has actually like cracked. I have had a couple of people ask if I can do like an update on my Accutane like journey. I will probably be doing that in like the next couple of weeks. Let me know down below what sort of stuff you want to know about me being on Accutane, like what it does and all that kind of stuff. If you see this, it looks a little bit ratchet, but that's what we're dealing with here. It actually hurts for me to like open my mouth because it keeps cracking once I open my mouth, but that's totally my fault. I like don't wear lip balm every day like I'm meant to. Also, speaking of ratchet, my fake eyelashes are on their 4th or 5th day. I'm going to a festival at the end of the month. I'm gonna get my lash extensions filled then, but in the meantime I'm wearing false lashes and they literally just don't want to stick. They're like bent like that way instead of like that way on my eye. Anyway, that's all the shit we're dealing with today. So jumping into this review. If you saw one of my previous videos, the one about what I do during the day as an Uber driver, I did mention that I went and bought that. It does come in pink and blue. It says achieve the ultimate in foundation coverage with this makeup brush plus blender fusion sponge. It says seamless results every time. Comes in a little like pocket like this. I actually prefer this over the Beauty Blender like packaging. It comes with a little thing about how to clean your sponge. Oh wow, actually feels like felt. So I don't know if you can see in the close-up, but it looks like felt. It's super soft. As I do with all my makeup sponges, I wet them like pretty much everyone does. So I'm gonna go wet this and wet the Beauty Blender. And this is what they look like. So as you can see, I would say this one is a little bit bigger, the Juno sponge. My Beauty Blender is really stained, so let's ignore that. This is what the bounce between them looks like. This one does seem a little bit like fluffier, if that makes sense. Really excited to try this one out. It still feels really velvety, which is really cool. What I'm gonna do is apply primer all over my face like I usually would. I want to test this out in like a normal circumstance, and then I'm gonna apply a foundation that I know I love. I'm gonna have to add some lightning drops because I'm pasty at the moment. I've just mixed together the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation and the Australis Matchmaker lightning drops. Hopefully this is light enough. If it's not, honestly, I don't even care. I'm not going anywhere, so. I'm gonna pick up a little bit on the flat side and it just bounced out on my face. I didn't prime. So we're just gonna do this with no primer. I would take this off, but this foundation's like $80 and then I'd be wasting like $15 worth of product. No thank you. This is what it looks like with the Beauty Blender application. It does look crazy because it is a full coverage foundation. I'm just going to go over with the base side just to absorb any extra product. The thing I do like about this is there's a flat side so I can put it all over my face, and then there's a really pointy side so I can get like in my nose crevice, like under my eyes, sharpen up that line of eyeshadow. This is so like spongy. I don't know how to explain it. I wish like you could feel it. It's just, I don't know. Okay, now I'm going to go with the remaining that's on the back of my hand. Oh my god, that looks so orange. And then I'm just going to use the flat side just like I did with the Beauty Blender. So already I can tell that when I push it onto my face, I don't know if you can see, it leaves like little circles on my face, but once you keep like, I don't want to use the word dab, but once you keep like bouncing, it's fine. And it doesn't have like a really bad smell. It doesn't really have a smell at all, which is good. But like if you can see, like it creates a circle, but that's obviously just the shape of the sponge. I'm gonna go as close to my eyebrows as I can get. So far, I don't really have any complaints. It's really soft, really easy to work with. It's a little bit bigger than the Beauty Blender, so it actually takes less time. I did have a little bit of trouble going around like this section here just because it is like so large. I do kind of have to like squeeze it and blend it around. With the Beauty Blender, I don't have to do that. I actually look like a ghost in the Beauty Blender. Oh my gosh. It didn't make anything patchy. It didn't make anything dry. Everything looks pretty much identical. I think if you were looking at my face, you wouldn't think that like I'd done anything different. You just think I would have done my whole face at once. But yeah, I'm really happy with it for how cheap it is. As you can see, it hasn't made it patchy. It hasn't left like rings on my face or anything like that. I'm going to add some concealer and use the sponge for that as well. I'm also going to blend out cream blush and cream contour and see how that goes. So the concealer I'm going in with is the Naked Skin Concealer by Urban Decay. So I'm literally just doing this just to brighten up like my inner corner. Alright, so I'm just going to use the pointy side like I always would. What I like about this side, and it's kind of gross, but I can actually like stick it like in my nose, like not so like it's up my nose, but like just enough to like make sure that like the rim of my nose isn't like pink. And as I said before, I can get right up onto that eyeshadow line and I can get right into that inner corner. I'm going to be taking this side of the sponge just because I can like squeeze it and make it round. If I do this side, I feel like it's not going to get into like those crevices. I don't know if anything I ever say makes sense. So don't have any complaints about this one. I actually have a pro. I don't know if you can see underneath my eyes, but on this side where I use the Juno sponge, I actually feel like it gave me more coverage under my eyes. This is the Hoola Quickie Contour Stick by Benefit. I love this. I'm going to use this as a cream contour. I'm going to blend that out with my Beauty Blender. And then again, I'm going to do the same thing. Take that same side of that sponge. I have literally nothing to say. They blended exactly the same. Now I'm going to go into some cream blush, and again taking both sponges. I'm going to bake my face with these also. And for that I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me powder. Just grabbing a little bit of powder. And same thing with the Juno sponge. The baking was really easy with the Juno sponge. I felt like because it was so big I could just like get it underneath my eye. As you can see, like the powder only kind of went to like here, but with the Juno one it went like all the way down. I'm gonna finish off the rest of my makeup and I'll come back for my final thoughts. Okay, so I've just finished off my makeup and my final thoughts are I would honestly just go and buy the Juno sponge again. It worked really well. I think it worked just as good as the Beauty Blender, honestly. It feels really soft, like way softer than the Beauty Blender. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, depending on what you'd like. As you can see, it blended my makeup like really well, the exact same as the Beauty Blender side. I didn't have any issues with it apart from getting around like this section here, just because it's a little bit smaller and the sponge is a bit bigger. It's a little bit hard. You kind of have to squeeze the sponge, but it's nothing that like worries me or would make me not want to buy it. I won't know the exact price of them until I go to edit this because I was too lazy at the start, but I'm pretty sure there's about a $15 like price difference between them, and to me that's massive, especially if you're a makeup artist and you're buying multiple of them. It's a little bit bigger than the Beauty Blender, but nothing that really concerns me. I like how it's got multiple edges to it. I really liked this one for my foundation, even though it left like those circles, which I got a bit scared at the start. It blended out really nicely. So those are my final thoughts. I definitely would recommend picking up the Juno sponge if you are in Mecca. I'll put a list in the description of other places where you can buy it also. Thank you for sticking through to the end and sticking through my dry cracked lip and my crusty as eyelashes. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.